Money, 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 must be funny.
Money, money, money. The richest league in the world, the Premier League, with clubs such as Manchester City, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Manchester United spending huge amounts of money on their players. But some of these players were massive flops. But who was the worst? Angel Di Maria? Paul Pogba? Alexis Sanchez? Or Maguire? This video is a must-watch for every true football fanatic out there. You won't believe some of the flops we're about to reveal. We've ranked the players from bad to worst. Let's get started. Number 15. Bakayoko's transfer to Chelsea from Monaco for £40 million. Bakayoko switched from AS Monaco to Chelsea in 2017. The midfielder was a champion in France, and they hoped to have bought Matic's successor in England. However, nothing turned out to be further from the truth. Although Bakayoko got off to a good start, he soon lost his starting place and played on loan for Napoli, Monaco, and AC Milan. What's our verdict? Bakayoko was a flop at Chelsea. He never succeeded Matic and is in 15th place on our list. Number 14. Christian Benteke's transfer from Aston Villa to Liverpool for £32.5 million. Liverpool welcomed Belgian striker Benteke to replace Luis Suarez at Liverpool in the summer of 2015. Yet, the Belgian was never really convincing in the shirt of the English superpower. Benteke managed to score 10 goals in his only season for Liverpool. They eventually sold him for £32 million to Crystal Palace. What's our verdict? Benteke was a flop who never met the high expectations at Liverpool. He was 14th on our list. Number 13. Francis Jeffers transferred to Arsenal from Everton for £10 million. In 2001, at the age of 20, Francis Jeffers was the next big thing in England. How many times have we heard that before? He scored 18 goals in 49 appearances at Everton. The great Wenger expected big things from him, but Jeffers only scored 4 goals in 22 appearances over 3 seasons at Arsenal. He was sold to Charlton Athletic in a £2.6 million deal, a massive loss for the Gunners. The fans voted him one of the worst signings in club history at the Gunners. Our verdict? Jeffers never lived up to expectations and makes it to 13th place on our list. Number 12. Paul Pogba's move to Manchester United for a record transfer fee of £89 million. Paul Pogba returned to Old Trafford to put right some unfinished business. He was seen as the next big thing for Man United, who would take the club back to the top in its post-Alex Ferguson era. Despite scoring 39 goals and providing 51 assists in 233 appearances in his Man United career, Pogba ended up looking like a bang-on average player in that magical Man United jersey. What's our verdict? Pogba has to go down as one of the biggest flops at Manchester United, entering 12th place on our list. Number 11. Andy Carroll shipped from Liverpool to Newcastle for a whopping £35 million. In 2011, Liverpool bought Andy Carroll for a record £35 million for a British football player at that time. Who was in charge at Liverpool for this transfer? Andy Carroll never managed to live up to his price tag at Liverpool. The tall attacker came to Liverpool on the final day of the winter transfer market and never got to become a success. Our verdict? Carroll never looked like a football player and ended up being a big flop at Liverpool. He makes it to 11th place on our list. Number 10. Veron's £28.1 million transfer for Man United from Lazio. Is Juanvidon the biggest transfer flop ever for Manchester United? He was signed for a club record fee of $28.1 million in 2001. Massive expectations that the brilliant Argentinian could not live up to. The English game is known for its physicality and intensity, and Veron, a relatively slight build, struggled to adapt. Veron scored some memorable goals. However, there is no doubt that he failed to live up to his price tag. So, what's the verdict? Veron was a great player, but he could never make his mark at Manchester United, and thus makes an appearance at number 10 on our list. Number 9. Winston Bogard's free transfer from Barcelona to Chelsea. Winston Bogard joined Chelsea in 2000 from FC Barcelona. He signed a £40,000-a-week contract and played out just 12 games over 4 years for Chelsea. There were rumors that Bogard flew to London 3 times a week to train with the reserves. He collected £10 million during his 4 years at Chelsea, nearly £850,000 a match. Our verdict? Bogard cost Chelsea a colossal sum, and he flopped his way into the 9th place on our list. Number 8. Roberto Soldado's £26 million transfer to the Spurs from Valencia. One of the many attackers on our list, Soldado joined Tottenham Hotspurs in 2013 after the $100 million departure of Gareth Bale to Real Madrid. Nearly $30 million were spent to free Soldado from Valencia, but Soldado scored just 6 goals in his first year in England. 4 of those goals came from the penalty spot. In 2015, Soldado returned to Spain. Our verdict? Soldado was a goal-scoring player in Spain, but a flop at Spurs, making it to 8th place on our list. Number 7. Harry Maguire's transfer to Manchester United for £80 million, a hefty price tag. Harry Maguire became the world's most expensive defender when he moved to Manchester United in 2019 for around £80 million. We all know of his legacy at United. Maguire had a strong season at Leicester but struggled at United. He had difficulty adjusting to the pressure of his price tag. One thing is for sure, a video on Maguire's mistakes would be a long video. What's the verdict? United was too big for Maguire, and he was one of their biggest flops. He ranks in 7th place on our list. Number 6. Adrien Mutu joining Chelsea for $15.8 million from Parma. Mutu joined Chelsea in the summer of 2003 and scored 4 goals in his first 3 matches. After that, it was hit or miss for Mutu in a Chelsea jersey. In September 2004, Mutu failed a drug test and Chelsea terminated his contract. After that, Chelsea even sought to gain compensation from Mutu. Our verdict? Mutu failed the drug test and was a flop at Chelsea. He is in 6th place on our list. Number 5. Ángel Di Maria's move to Manchester United for $59.7 million from Real Madrid. Signing Argentinian star player Ángel Di Maria in the summer of 2014 made perfect sense. Di Maria won the Champions League with Real Madrid and was decisive in the final. However, like other Argentinians, the marriage between Di Maria and Manchester United never succeeded. Is this something specific to Argentinian players and the reason Messi never played in the Premier League? What's the verdict? Di Maria is a great player, but a flop in United and is in 5th place. Number 4. Alexis Sanchez's shift to Manchester United from Arsenal. Alexis Sanchez's time at Manchester United was a major disappointment. He was signed on a high-profile deal in January 2018, but failed to live up to expectations and was eventually loaned out to Inter Milan in August 2019. Whatever the reason, Sanchez's time at United was a disaster. He scored just 5 goals in 45 appearances for the club and was a shadow of the player he had been at Arsenal. Our verdict? Sanchez was great at Arsenal, but looked like his brother was at United. He is therefore in 4th place. That leaves us with the 3 biggest flops in Premier League history. Number 3. Danny Drinkwater's transfer to Chelsea for a whopping $35 million. The arrival of Danny Drinkwater at Chelsea caused a surprise in England. The midfielder became a Premier League champion with Leicester, but N'Golo Kante was a big man in Leicester's midfield. Chelsea soon discovered that Drinkwater was not their desired asset. Drinkwater has played just 23 times for Chelsea and has had loan spells for Burnley, Aston Villa, Reading, and Kasem-Pasa in recent years. The verdict? Drinkwater turned out to be a one-hit wonder and is in 3rd place on our list of flops. Number 2. Lukaku's move from Inter Milan to Chelsea for £97.5 million. This was supposed to be the homecoming of the man who would put Chelsea straight back into contention for all the big prizes in world football. A goal on his second debut for the Blues against Arsenal had fans believing it would become a reality in the coming years. Things turned sour very quickly, however, as Lukaku fell out of form and, as a result, out of favor with Thomas Tuchel. Our verdict? Lukaku's return to Chelsea was a major disappointment. Therefore, he is in second place. Number 1. Shevchenko's transfer to Chelsea from AC Milan for a whopping £31 million. Shevchenko's transfer of $31 million to Chelsea in 2006 would be worth £215 million today, the only transfer over $200 million when adjusted for inflation. He has gone down as one of the best strikers of all time based on his tenure at AC Milan. The attacker was unprecedentedly good, but things didn't get off the ground at Chelsea. The attacker quickly lost the competitive battle and ended up on the bench. Shevchenko scored 23 times in 77 games, meaning in transfer fees alone, the Blues paid a whopping £1.3 million per goal scored. Our verdict? Expectations were sky high, but Shevchenko flopped at Chelsea and tops our list. Thanks for joining the frenzy with Football Fanatics. A lot of money was spent on flops in the Premier League. Comment your opinions below and tell us about the biggest flops you can think of. Until next time, keep kicking it with the coolest football facts around. Smash that like button, subscribe, and stay tuned for more jaw-dropping action.